Why your first wholesaling deal is the hardest and exactly what to do because of that. I think a lot of people struggle more than ever getting the first deal, and they always wonder why, why is the first wholesaling real estate deal the hardest? Why am I struggling trying to get my first deal? What we're going to do today is really answer the question of why for the first deal, most wholesalers struggle the most, and then why on deal 2, 3, and 4 it's easier, and how to really hack that, how to have the easiness of your 10th deal as your first deal. I think there's a lot of things you're probably not looking at because you're a beginner, right? It's like your first 1,000 points in basketball is the hardest because once you get more skills, it's easier to score points, right? But it's not particularly that in a sense, right? It's not like, oh, just work harder. And there's a couple of things we need to talk about so you can start waking up. I really think a lot of wholesalers need to start waking up to reality now that actually want to make a change in their life. We've done 30-day wholesaling challenges. We've done countless challenges every year. And we've made a significant impact on everyone's life. And we know today, this video is going to change somebody's life, hopefully multiple people, so they can start closing more wholesaling real estate deals and making a ton of money in this business. And so we're super excited. We're jacked up today to help you become the best wholesaler possible. And we're really just going to talk about it. We're going to talk about everything you need to know to become a successful wholesaler starting out in this business. And so for most people, we need to start waking up to reality. A lot of people listen to gurus. They live in la land. They think wholesaling real estate's all sunshine and rainbows. Everything's all positive and fun and fairy tale. And it's not. I'm not going to say it's cutthroat, but it's business. It's a jungle.
Real work.
Either you go out here and make it or you don't. And what I'm here to do is help you make it, obviously. And there's some things you need to know today how to make it. But this is reality. This is a real business. I think a lot of people look at wholesaling as this get-rich-quick scheme, this special thing where you can make a lot of money, but it's temporary. No, this is a real legit business. But it's a business you can run up 30 grand next month in, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing this 21 years. And one of the biggest problems I see with wholesaling, and this trend's really happened in the last 5 to 7 years, is wholesalers, they get into it, they just get the positive. You ever bought something and you just heard the positive and nobody wants to tell you the negative? That's what you guys have been fed mostly. It's so easy. Anyone can do it. You don't have to have any money. All that stuff is true. But you need to know more. The reality is most of you have high expectations. And then when you get in, you find out what it actually takes to succeed. It didn't meet your expectations. So you're here, and this is where you need it for wholesaling. And that's where a lot of people quit. And maybe we've attracted some of the wrong people in the wholesaling, blame it on the gurus, whatever, but it's not for everyone. I'll tell you right now. So what me and Zach try to do is give you the real expectation of what it takes to succeed in wholesaling. The truth. I've been doing it 21 years. He's 8, 9 years going on. Guys, the reality is you actually have to work. This business has been around a long time ago. In fact, I have a picture I'm going to post up on my YouTube page of someone who did it over 200 years ago. They were a wholesaler in the colonies that were originally formed, and he went around town to town and he wholesaled houses. It was legal back then. Our forefathers gave us the right to do it, and nobody invented it. Somebody else taught me. I taught Zach, and now we're here teaching you. So today we just have to kind of set your expectations, because just like that, when you get in a car, to get that momentum, the engine has to really rev and get going, and you get the 1 mile an hour, get the 2 mile an hour, and then eventually you can get to 80, 90, 100. Some of you guys want to get to 100 without even putting the car in drive. That's what we're here to talk about today.
So let's talk about this. So first and foremost, your dreams will continue to be dreams if you just keep dreaming and don't do anything right. You hear this a lot, right? It's true. Yeah. Your dreams will be dreams unless you actually make a dang change right now. And I see a lot of wholesalers not making changes. I see a lot of wholesalers just dreaming about becoming rich and successful without doing anything about it. And this is where we have to have a reality shift. This is how we have to start making a change. I'm not your wholesaling guru. I'm not going to tell you how nice things are. And, if you just paid me $8,000, then you can become successful. It's not that. It's anyone can be successful, but you're going to have to do the things that suck. And I'm not telling you like, oh, just be a man. Like, I'm not telling you that today, because there's some certain things that you can do that really boost your success and your chance of success, which we want to talk about today. But a lot of people are dreaming, like talking about becoming successful, and they don't do it. This is where we have to make a change today. And so your first deal is technically the hardest, but it's not inherent. And what I mean by this is the 10 miles for somebody that hasn't ran ever. The first mile is the hardest.
It's terrible.
But like then you get in a groove and you're good to go, right? So running a mile 0 to 1 is the hardest. But let's say but what about mile 6 to 7? Like it's less hard, but it's the same distance. And so it's not inherently harder to go out here and get your first deal, right? It's the same thing as me getting a deal, right? After doing over 2,500 deals myself, getting another deal is inherently the same thing as my first deal, except the first deal is always the hardest, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what you just kind of have to look at it. Like it's. I think a lot of people put this mental barrier on that first deal, but if you could start doing it, you can make a lot of great changes. And so, it's you. Okay? You and only you is going to determine how you're going to actually get a deal. And I get canceled for this, but like me and Rick are not going to be the single only reason you're going to get a wholesaling deal. Okay. Same thing with your guru. Your guru's giving them $8,000 is not going to be the thing that is going to stop you from getting your first deal. So it's not me and Rick. It's not your guru. It's you. It's not external circumstances. It's not because you're in a wheelchair. It's not because you have an accent. It's not because you live in Mongolia. It's none of these things. It all comes down to you. The one thing we tell you on this channel is do not be living a sad life, or stop believing yourself as a victim of life and society. Make a change. This is what you need to start doing. And it's really an easier concept to really think about is stop thinking about your first deal. Start thinking about your first 1,000 hours. And so your first deal technically isn't the hardest. Let's get rid of the first deal. Okay, let's X that out. Everyone likes to see the title. Everyone likes to okay, first deal. Let's just get rid of first deal. Let's just talk about putting your first 1,000 hours into wholesaling. After you put 1,000 hours, it's really easy getting a deal. It's a lot easier to find a deal. And you have the stop struggling mindset. The problem is you guys want to go put 2 hours in this business and get a deal. Your first 1,000 hours is the hardest.
It's my analogy is most people want to go 0 to 100 miles an hour, but how you really learn this business is mile an hour 1, 2, 3, and 4. I know I beat this quote to death, but Marcus Aurelius always says a famous philosopher, stop talking, start doing. Perfect example. Somebody wants to, number one thing they do right off the bat. I just lost 10 pounds. Well, how many you want to lose total? 50. Talk to me when you hit 50. Like you've got to ride it all the way. Everybody wants instant gratification. I would love nothing more than you to click a button, watch a YouTube's video of me and Zach, and you go out and get a deal. The problem is that's not the reality. You're going to have to invest 1,000 hours just to get the concept and master it. I see people teaching classes in 30 days in a week. A weekend seminar to me is the worst thing you can go to because you're not just going to learn it there. Everything me and Zach teaches, we do 4 lives a week. We do thousands of videos. We do 2 meetups a year. Like we try to embrace every aspect to motivate you, train you, and give you the tools. But at the end, it's your decision if you want to do it. That's why people are so successful with us, because they commit to it. They understand, I'm going to do the hard now to get to the easy later. But most of you are sold, it's super easy. Just pay me. I'll let you behind the paywall and it's all magically going to happen. It's not, guys. It's not. That's why a lot of you come back to us and go, I'm frustrated. And I love you people because you go, let's get to work. Once the dream is over, now you can take action. Remember, become a great wholesaler. Stop talking about it.
I see so many people they talk and talk. The only way you shut people up is by actually doing it. I have a lot of 18-year-olds that come to me and say, Zach, my parents, they don't believe in me. They keep telling me not to do it. What do I do? And I just tell them to shut them up. How do I do that? If you can pull up to your parents' house who are making $5,000 a month, okay, with a $10,000 check, because I just did this wholesaling thing, and at a title company, there will be nothing that your parents are going to say to you. Because first, you're making more money than them from a signed attorney. There's nothing they can do. Like, that's the best way to shut. I just made 20 grand the past couple months. Here are the checks from a real title company. Call the title company up. Call the lawyer and see if this is legit. Right? Just by doing it, we'll solve most. This is how this world works. So again, it's point A to point B. So if we're driving from, let's say, Las Vegas to LA, okay? 200-300 miles. I'm probably guessing that, but like, 3 or 4 hours, right? That's what it is. So let's say we take 30 miles an hour, 30 miles to the gallon, okay? So if you expect, some of you guys do this. Oh, Zach, how can I go from LA to Las Vegas with 1 tank of gas in my Toyota Camry? What? That's 400 miles. Yeah, how do I do it?
You gotta get thirsty.
And so a lot of gurus say it like, oh, if you don't spend $4,000. I saw this other thing the other day. Oh, people, I love your screenshots you send me. This one guy said,
it's the best.
If you're in this market, expect to spend around $4,000 to get a deal. What? 4 people, $4,000? You don't have a shot. You know why they say that? Because their course is $10,000. It's it's 14, give me 10, do 4, you're all good, right? Anyone can be a coach and say, hey, drop $4,000 on PPC and PPL ads, and I'm the champion, right? The truth is, this point A to B stuff, it's not gas, like it's not with the gas is theoretically the analogy is the effort. It's the hours you put in. And so a lot of you guys ask, how do I get my first deal with only spending 4 hours, right? Now we do 4 hours a week for like 4 or 5 months, and we can definitely get a deal there, almost 100%. But like a lot of you guys have these unfair expectations. And so one thing I tell everyone is go to the 30 Wholesaling Challenge, freewholesaling.com or free wholesaling course, and we really, really map out how many hours and how many leads, like how many calls you have to make on a list, how many texts for lists it takes to get a wholesaling deal on average. And so this is your point A to point B. This is how many gallons you got and how many miles to the gallon your car has, right? Or, charge, right? Right? If you have an electric car, right? But like, that's how this business works. You can't defy the laws of physics to yourself. And the raw entitlement I see from people feeling like they deserve to make 40 grand with only working an hour a week is insane to me. Guys, if some of y'all that complain to me about how hard wholesaling is, if I stacked $40,000 on this table right now and said, work 40 hours a week for the next 2 weeks, and you guys would just be shoveling and sleeping in a garbage can, just to get that, right? But when it comes to $40,000 in 2 weeks from just cold calling, you guys go in a corner and cry. No, it's too difficult.
Too risky.
It's too risky.
The problem is a lot of you guys you don't understand. You'll trade your hours for money. We do the same thing. It's not an instant gratification. And the instant gratification is what keeps everybody hooked to being a salaried employee. Listen, I was there. He's done it a short time. You get used to comfortable. It's what the government loves about it. And I'm just telling you, what we do it's different. But if you can bypass that instant gratification, everything you've been taught since the day you were born, think about your baby. Cry like crazy to get what you want. Now, a lot of you are doing the exact same thing. You're crying like crazy because you have to work to get that 20, 30, 40 grand. And it's not going to come as easily up front. But once you figure it out, then you can duplicate it, systematize it, and do it over and over and replace your paycheck. Your measly $2,000 to $4,000 paycheck, you can replace it with $40,000, $50,000 deals. Guys, if you can come up with just one deal a month, you'll make 10 times what you did before and have so much more freedom. But I got to get a result. Sorry, put in the work. And listen, yes, you can do this business when you're broke. It's challenging. The question is, you got to be all in. There is no like, I'm going to try this. I'll make 200 phone calls, but I'm only going to make 20 because I just don't feel like it today. That is non-negotiable. Stop negotiating with yourselves and just go out and do it. Like, you can do it. Stop looking for the easy way. Me and Doc are going to show you the hard way to get to the easy way, but you got to be willing to go all in.
I agree. I see so many people. So guys, again, are you driving enough? So my first question why a lot of people struggle is they're not marketing enough, right? So they're not going out here and just doing the raw output it takes to get a deal. Or they have VAs, they're not doing it right. Everybody loves my Sunday night live streams on my channel and Rick's Monday night live streams because, we're a little, it's our own channels, right? We can be a little crazier, if that makes sense, right? At night, I go nuts. But basically, I just talk to everyone. I say, hey, if you're struggling, hop on. I guarantee I could fix your problem. And people come to me every Sunday. And I swear, like I have to meditate or something after. I got to calm down.
Yeah.
Because some of y'all will come to me, and I'm not saying you, but some of y'all will give me the most insane excuses and insane KPIs I've ever heard. I think I had a guy a couple of weeks ago tell me that he was getting six answered calls every 4 hours. He spent 4 hours a day cold calling, and he was only getting 6 answered calls. And he made 15 calls. I said, you made 15 calls in 4 hours.
That's hard to do.
I say, are you like, I told him, and I feel mean, but I'm like, are you like trolling me? Like, are you pulling a prank on? Like, are you just trying to get a reaction out of me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I actually want to know. Like, is this really, like, is this a joke? Right? Like, so you made 4 calls an hour. Like, how can you, if you're a 90-year-old and you're really slow at typing, you can't even do that. Oh, but you don't get it, man. Oh, I get it. You're okay getting one person answer. And, I did a live stream last Tuesday of me just calling, right? Simple Zach dialer and just ba, 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 ba. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think I got 4 leads off of that, right? 3 probably good leads. But like, it's just, it's insane to me. And I'm like, I do these live streams. I show you how I cold call. You see all the live Fizzbos. Like, how many calls I can do just by myself at like 1 o'clock Eastern, not even 5 to 7. Like, what are you calling at midnight? Like, I don't understand half the time. Other people, I don't know if I've said on this channel, this one guy told me on the Zachin live stream. Are you ready for this one? Yeah. He said this on the Discord. He said, Zach, FYI, every Friday at 8 o'clock Eastern, I go live inside of the Discord, Wholesaling Us Real Discord, only on the Discord. Have to be on the Discord to be in there, so check it out. This one guy told me, he said, I don't know if I can be successful because I'm Hispanic. I almost lost that was probably the worst excuse to date. That was probably the worst excuse I've ever heard in my life. I'm like, you're Hispanic, so that's why you can't be successful. Guys, people let you know in the chat, like, Zach's not lying here. These are real recorded excuses that I have from people. And I'm like, dude, do you know how many rich Hispanic wholesalers there are?
Oh yeah,
like,
by far.
It's in their culture to work hard and do really well. Okay? Like, I'm like, dude, Hispanic people are like one of the most hardest working people ever. Like, when they get into wholesaling, it's like, it's game over. It's just funny to me. You can give me any excuse possible. You say, oh, you don't understand. Oh, I understand. And it's just funny.
I know. I've always told you the one thing everybody loves about wholesaling is it doesn't care about your financial background. It doesn't care what education level. Heck, it doesn't even care if you have a criminal record. It doesn't care if you went to Ivy school. It doesn't care if you went to college, and you all love it for it. It doesn't care where you came up from, what religion you are. It doesn't care, but it's only going to help those that want to work. So as we get from wholesaling, you can't use wholesaling as because I'm this, I can't be good at wholesaling. No. Every limitation's in your own head. So all the great things that like wholesaling, if you're broke, maybe you're young, maybe you lost your job, all this other stuff, you can't. Now you're going to have to go hunt for an excuse why you can't succeed in wholesaling. You're going to and create it. Here's what I'm telling you. It's out there. The question is how long before you get the hang of it. It's all a directive of how much time and effort you spend in the business. Yep. And if you don't prospect and you don't market and you don't engage and talk to sellers, wholesaling doesn't care. It's just going to go find someone else who wants to do it. So as much as all the things we hate, It knows when people don't work. Me and Zach can tell you in one conversation, I can tell you or you don't. Because the excuse train, once it starts, it leaves the station. You can't make money with excuses. You don't get credit with it. Nobody cares about it. And honestly, the more excuses I hear, and I know Zach's the same way, like excuses don't make money. So people who make excuses, listen, you can make 1 million excuses or $1 million. You can't do both. Choose which is more important to you and move forward. Your excuse is just your ability to tell yourself a story, to soothe yourself like a freaking pacifier and make yourself feel better. You're only feeding your ego. It's going to last short term, and you're still going to be broke when it's all said and done. So keep that in mind, guys. Like wholesaling, every excuse you come at me and Zach, like I'm just going to duck, weave, and bob because it don't matter. It just tells me you're not into it. Like you are not committed. And if you have 1 foot out the door in wholesaling, just take it out because I don't sell a program that does that. We tell you up front, it's hard work. If you're willing to put in the hard work, anything is possible. But if you're lazy, you don't want to work, and you subscribe to like some of this crazy culture going on right now, man, wholesaling will eat you alive, period. So if you're here to learn wholesaling and actually do it, and you're tired of playing games with gurus, you got to commit to doing work. Tell yourself the truth. Put in the best effort every day and get better every day.
Yeah, excuses are funny because it's like point A to point B, right? That's the point. Point A, point B. And when excuses is it's like the Wizard of Oz, where they had the projector of the face. Right?
Yeah.
What excuses is your brain, a wall in front of the road. And it's a holographic wall.
Yeah.
Right? You can just go through the wall whenever you want. But you see a wall and it's glitching, but it's like, that's a wall I can't drive through. I'm going to crash.
Don't look behind the scenes.
Don't look behind the scenes, but like your brain's creating it. Your brain's really good. I think I've said this a lot, but like your brain's really good at creating scenarios of why you should do something that creates pleasure in the brain. The brain goes towards pleasure, right? So, yummy food creates fat stores. So during the winter, we can survive, right? Your brain doesn't automatically say, oh yeah, I want some broccoli, right? No.
Mine doesn't.
Your brain doesn't say, let's go on a 10-mile run. Yeah. Your brain doesn't say any of these things. And the funny part is like your brain's always going to want to stay comfortable and warm and nice, right? And that's how it works. But so the interesting part is though, your brain also has these fear mechanisms that we're supposed to, for example, back in the good old days in, 4000 BCE, right? When you were fishing in a river and an alligator comes out, you have this fear like, oh my gosh, it's an alligator. Or you're in the jungle, caveman stuff, and you see a saber-toothed tiger. Yeah. Your brain gets fearful. And you train yourself to, I see that, let's get away from it, let's not do it, right? It's your brain. But the problem is we don't hunt saber-toothed tigers. Alligators don't attack us unless
in Florida,
right? Like you don't have much of these fear. So you're not being attacked or hunted by other animals anymore, right? So our brain just goes to the closest thing to that. And so for a lot of you guys, like, let's talk to a seller? Oh my God. It's like, you're used to fighting these tigers and stuff. And now you're scared of talking to a seller. So it drives me crazy.
It's the old pain pleasure. More people will do something to avoid pain, and more people will do something to gain pleasure. The problem is most of the real pleasure you get in life, freedom of your time, freedom to make choices and buy assets to solve problems that money can help solve for you. I say money doesn't like make you happy, but sure to heck gives you a lot of options. Is you have to go through some of that pain to get to the pleasure. And so if you're not willing to do the pain, you can't get to the other side of pleasure. So then you just pick short-term pleasure. And the short-term pleasure is extremely soothing and pleasing, but like eventually you'll get so frustrated you will bust through the wall. I had to wait 12 years until I busted through my pain. And one of my purposes why I do these live streams and why I'm so adamant about wholesaling is don't make the mistake I did. If you're sitting on the edge, I didn't start till I was 33. Now, I don't care when you start. If you wake up, then great. But I'm just telling you, you get so addicted to that short-term pleasure that you're not willing to grow and go outside of your comfort zone to get ultimately what you want. Everything you want is just on the other side. But that pain pleasure, if you really explore it and understand how it works, you got to understand you got to do what you. So here's a little trick you do. Always focus on the end result. Think about when you go to work, if you want to train for a marathon, nothing is fun about that except the feeling of euphoria when you finish it. So think about the feeling when you get your first deal. All those phone calls, all those failed, all those rejections. If you can get through that and get to the other side and get that first assignment check, man, you are unstoppable. But we've got to get you guys, Gary. We got to stop talking about wholesaling and actually do it.
I agree. Guys, life is inherently suffering. I'm not talking about life's terrible, but I'm saying in your life, suffering is always inevitable. A lot of you guys don't want to call seller now because that'd be undue suffering. So a lot of people don't want to do something because it will do extra suffering what they have to deal with. Most people don't want to deal with something bad in their life until they have to. For example, it kind of sucks to say, but like if you have no money and you can't pay your mortgage, you're just going to avoid it because, oh, boom, you get evicted, right? Or something crazy like that. Life is there's insurmountable suffering with most things, right? Like if you have a loved one, eventually, if they're older than you, they're probably going to pass away. Don't care if you're 5 years old and you have a friend that's 10. Statistically, it's going to happen if you willingly live longer, right? This is the point of life, and it's some of the worst things that are possible, but like it's a part of life, and it's going to. So enjoy the moments you're here, right? You not live past probably 150 years old, probably, right? Let's say science is good, and so there's inherent suffering with everything you do. I will tell you, most problems we see in men and women, I will tell you, 80% of the problems that I see from the average person can be solved by just and
choices.
Better choice. I such if a person who can just make $100,000 or $200,000, 50% of the problems are solved. Now the other problem is like getting in shape and actually being healthy. If you can fix those two things, for most guys, they'll solve most of your issues in life.
I got another famous philosophy quote that works.
Oh boy.
Where we talk about, hey, life is so short, it's completely wrong. And you know what? The more you think about it, it is short if you just think about that. But here's the problem with it. The average human lives, 78, 79 years, and the people well in their 80s and 90s. I love people living in their hundreds. It's not that life's too short. The problem is we waste most of our time in life. Do you understand that? Like right now, if you're just sitting on the fence talking about wholesaling, you are wasting hours, you are wasting days. If you have sat on the fence all year trying to get your first deal and just kind of like, you're wasting time. You could have started it back in January. Now we're in August. Like you got to keep going. Life is not short. The truth is we all just waste time doing things that don't make a difference in life. You have to push the needle. I can't push it. Zach can't push it. We can inspire you. But at the end of the day, you got to be accountable for what you get done each day. And every day stacks up. And before you know, I had 21 years gone by, ridiculous amount of deals. That did not happen by accident. It happened by design. You know how I did? I got my first deal. I literally crapped in my pants, figured out how to do it. Then I did another deal. And what do I tell you guys? You get to 5, I'm your superhero. I'm here to help people to get from 0 to 5. Why? Because this is where 95% of the people fail. Me and Zach don't talk over your head about all these advanced strategies because you guys don't need that. It just makes people feel good about themselves.
There's freewholesaling.com.
Yeah. So guys, you understand it. Stop wasting time. Yes, life is short. It only seems short because we let 20, 30 years go by and we work on other people's dreams. We never took that risk in life. Listen, we're all going to be on this earth for a fixed amount of time, whatever it is, the good Lord does. Make the best of it. And I tell you, like wholesaling has just changed my life massively. And our goal here is always to impact you. And we're talking about trying to get you to getting you to your first deal. I hate the word trying. Don't ever use trying or but around me or should or I heard. Go ahead.
I agree. So guys, lack of effort and a lack of the right effort is going to kill most of your dreams. What I mean by this is the lack of actually going out here and doing it, doing the marketing is going to kill your dreams. But also, there's a lot of people doing the wrong effort. So a lot of you guys are trying to wholesale MLS or only do FSBOs or doing even the wrong markets. So I tell you, freewholesaling.com or free wholesaling course, that will help you out for most of your problems trying to learn wholesale. Okay, like it just shows you how to do it. So a lot of you guys are scatterbrained. You got all these different things. So subscribe, watch the live streams. The most important part of our live streams being in the comments with other successful people, in our Discord, Facebook groups, all these things too. But really, the course is set out and it's created. Also, it's free, by the way. Costs no money. But it's set up in a way for you to learn it in the fastest way possible so you can have success. And so a lot of you guys are expert. This is my biggest pet peeve with a lot of people, but like you pretend like you know everything, or you feel like that, hey, I'm just going to do my own script that I think is going to work best. You can do it. But I'm going to tell you, if you haven't done over, 6,000 deals combined, me and Rick, it ain't going to work. Okay? It ain't going to work. I see from a lot of people is they mix a guru and they mix our stuff together and it becomes a mess.
It's like a bomb.
It's like using my spaghetti meatball recipe and then using the guru's, ice cream recipe and trying to mix it. Like it don't work. Our thing works really well, our system, if you just use our system. But the problem is a lot of you guys mix these broke holes and it does not do well. I use the guru's VA system, and then the guru VA ends up stealing all your leads, and you wonder what's going on. I wonder what happened. Not going to get in that mess. But stop listening. Also, stop listening to people who have done less deals than us. And I'm trying to say this in the humblest and nicest way possible. But I see in the Discord a lot. There are people who have done 0 deals giving advice of how to create a cold calling system. There are people out here giving advice up this. I don't really like Zach's script. I use this script instead, and you haven't done a deal.
Like, you have no idea.
So a lot of people, everyone loves giving opinions, and my favorite part is everyone's really good at giving advice, but not following their own advice.
Dude, that's human nature, man.
It happens all the time.
Let me tell you how to fix your life. You almost want to take a mirror and just go, what? And it goes, it works in personal life, weight management, and especially when it comes down to business. Everybody wants to, my favorite is when tells you how to run a business and they're just they're just an employee for someone else, but they're going to tell you exactly how to run a business and how to get leads and how to do everything. I would not take advice from that person. And you guys have to filter what goes in your mind. Like, make sure you have a vetted source that you get your information from her. If I get someone and say I want to get in shape, I want to aspire to look like that person, not like. And if that person is not doing what they said, it's like, no way.
It's the fat personal trainer. Like,
if like financial people, they're like, I can improve your portfolio. I can minimize your risk. I go, hey, show me your portfolio. That's private information. I couldn't show you. Why on earth would I take advice from you if you can't even manage your own portfolio? Like, there's no way. And you have to do that in every part of your life. Wholesaling is no different. Everybody's good at talking. There's very few tools to vet people. By the way, just being on the internet is not vetting. It is not. Find someone who's got a long track record, that's got a good reputation, and still does wholesaling. So many people out there teaching wholesaling right now, they don't do it anymore. They were good at one point, and like that, they have the opportunity to do that, but understanding, like, if you're not going to do wholesaling anymore, how are you going to show me how to do it? And then they're going to go, well, some things have changed, but I still know how to do it. Wholesaling is always a fundamental aspect of my businesses. And my favorite is when people sell their wholesaling business, it means they quit. Let's just be brutally honest. Wholesaling business is not a sellable business. It's the asset it produces.
I agree. But guys, I'm not saying this about like gurus sometimes. I mean, they're all shams, most of them. But what I'm talking is just people on the internet giving advice. You just got to be really, really careful. I've seen a lot of people be burned because, a guy on the internet told me to do this cold calling system, and guess what happens? It don't work too well. And so I'll tell you, I feel like a jerk saying this, but like I'm just trying to just explain this. Not one person on the internet has gotten more break. Whoever you want to name.
Do it.
Not one. You know why? Because they have a $14,000 program, and so they've only had 700 students max go through their $14,000 program.
Some have had more.
Let's say they have a 100% success rate. I'll get more than 700 successful first deals probably in 2 months of just checks being sent. Probably 3. People not sending the checks, probably 700. And so the truth is, I get so many people, multiple people on a daily basis DMing me, thank you, got my first deal. There's not one person who has gotten somebody the first deal than me and Rick. Is it because we're the richest? No. Is it because we're the most handsome? Yes. Is it because we have the best voice? Or no. Okay. Is it because we have 14,000 production staff for the? No. We're the only multimillionaires that will give you our best advice for free. That is it.
That's it.
But the problem is no one to this day has been willing to give a completely free wholesaling real estate course that is a multimillionaire, or that free course in general. Okay. Not one person. And so at the end of the day, you know, I don't want you to get bad advice. Also, over 6,000 deals between us. And the number of deals we do, it's technically 1,000 because we combine it. Because if I do a deal, you do the deal. So we combine it, right? It makes us sound better. But like, not one person. And so at the end of the day, it's like, stop taking bad advice from other people. There are some people that give good advice. For example, there are people on the internet that try to tell you how to close. And this is funny. They have no video on the internet of them ever closing a deal. There are people selling $9,000 closing programs that they have not one video on the internet of them closing a seller.
But they'll train you.
There's people that I consider gurus that sell closing programs, but I have to give it to some of these people. They click the live stream button and they'll close a seller. No, is it a fake actor on the other line? I have no idea.
That's not our.
But at the end of the day, at least they try.
I do give credit people who do it live, like live. And by the way, calling a real estate agent is not like anybody could do that. Everyone's super nice because you're not dealing directly with the seller. So I do give credit for people who go on and actually show their skills and they don't know the outcome. I mean, I did it last week. Like I had to unwind a deal that was falling apart. And we were on the Discord. I just took the call live.
If anybody in the comments can confirm, Rick closed the seller live on the Discord, and you're never getting the recording of it because it's on Discord, by the way. So Zach Discord, by the way, quick plug, ZachDiscord.com. Join a flipper Discord.
That was fun. And I took it while I was doing it. I go, hey guys, you want to like, let's negotiate a live deal. And had no idea how it was going to turn out. And that's the fun with it. Like, but I need you to take that same mentality. Like, they're not going to bite you. They're not going to physically hurt you. Are you going to feel a little uncomfortable? Yes. But after a while, you're going to get over it because you have to compartmentalize some of your emotions when it comes to business. I'm not telling you to do it personally, but when it comes to business, you got to keep going. You're going to have people where contracts fall apart. You're going to have people that ghost you, all sorts of stuff. You got to keep your composure and keep moving forward. It's disappointing. I was on that stream. My employee said they canceled. We give up. We've done everything. I go, get them on the phone right now. They go, you're on a live. I go, I don't care. Just get them on. It's a priority. So I could teach people, save a deal. And at the end, it cost me $375 to pay a back payment on an HOA. And that fixed the deal. Because the guy's like, I'm done. I'm never talking to you again. And he was right. We screwed up. You know what I did? I just admitted it's me. I screwed up. How can we fix this right now? No excuses.
Okay, we got confirmation. Not fake.
It's real. So like that's what it takes in this business. You got to put yourself out there. So I love the brave few that go out and go, hey, I'm going to do stuff live. I'm going to do this. Listen, calling real estate agents is not brave, guys. To me, you're as a beginner, you should never do it. And the fact that we're trying to train people to do it. Now, I'm not saying you can't get a deal from a real estate agent, but the odds of you getting a deal, remember, they're not going to be assignable, big deposits, and you cannot talk directly to the seller. It's just a mess. Can you find a deal 1 out of 1,000? Yeah, you can. But for the most part, you're going to struggle, and I don't want you there. That's why me and Zach give you the truth here.
I agree. So FYI, ZachDiscord.com. Check it out. That's just the invite link. You can search wholesaling houses for real, but it's pretty dang good. But we do have people that, that don't do any deals, that try to give people advice. But there's all people that don't do deals that try to give positive reinforcement and accountability. We love that too. But at the end of the day, a lot of you guys have a lack of effort because you have a lack of accountability. There's a couple of people in the Discord, which I really love. I think it's a new trend we're doing in there, where if you're using ZachDialer.com, it's pretty easy to see your call log for the day, Mojo, whatever one you want to use, really. But here's the cool, it's the one thing you can't fake? Your call report on the dialer.
Nope, you can't.
Like how many hours and how many calls you make, unless you get crazy on Photoshop, which why are you going to do that? But a lot of people are just screen sharing and posting their dialer history for the day.
Accountability.
That's cool. It's like, hey, bro, well, you didn't post your screen share today. What's going on? And that's really, really powerful because you're in a community with thousands of other wholesalers. They're going to keep you to the fire. And it just, the thing is, a lot of you guys have a lack of accountability. And accountability is a killer of your dreams and success. You have to stay accountable. You have to go out here and actually accept the actions you take. And then if you mess up, you mess up. Accept change. Your issue is when you mess up, you know you messed up, and then you keep doing the same problem. I'm okay with people messing up. I'm not, some things no, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay to mess up in a business sense, as long as you learn from that mistake. It's when you mess up and you don't learn, that's when it gets really, really nasty. I'm sorry. I tell people. Now, again, the people that tell me, Zach, I feel tired. I'm too tired for the day. Everything sucks. It's difficult. I want to let everybody know, if you are struggling right now and you feel like you're too tired, you're too exhausted from the day, how exhausted are you going to feel just staying? So you're this tired because you're working a crazy job and you have to wholesale on the side, right? It gets tiring. Brutal.
It gets tiring. Brutal. I've done it.
What is more tiring? Staying in that job for the next, also being on your death, or not a deathbed, being 7 years old now saying, you know what? I could have lived a lot better life. And you know, life is long. It's the longest thing you're ever going to do, but it's all. And the point of life, opinion, you know, is not just working for a corporation for 60 years of your life, popping out a couple kids, being in love, and, you know, like just doing what everyone else does. And I might get a lot of flack for it. Now, you know, being in love, having kids, right? That's always great. But is the point born just to have kids and have a wife or husband? There has to be something more that pushes you. And in my opinion, you know, one thing that drives me is to be the best at what I'm doing, or to create an impact in society more than just working for the insurance company, right? I just, you know, working all day for an insurance company and make more money, it's ridiculous to me, right? Life is best spent just trying. And it's in the pursuit of trying to become the best man or woman possible, the best father, the best husband, the best wife, whatever that is for you. But the pursuit of being the best you can possibly make the most out of life. Not just getting through life, but making the most out of it. That's what I'm telling you to do. And you don't have to do this like 90 hours a week. It's still 40 hours a week of trying that. But at the end of the day, that is what the life is all about. Not sitting around watching video games or playing video games. Like, you can do it, obviously, right?
You know what's it's crazy is, listen, I used to work a long job and I did wholesaling. I was tired. I had a crazy addiction to diet drinks. He'll attest to this. Big Gulp was my friend. But like, I go to the gym and like the amount of energy drinks sitting on the shelves and all these kids leave it around. I'm telling you, the energy drinks, not like that, can get you through a moment, but it's going to have devastating results in the long run.
I don't think it's that bad. I don't drink energy drinks, but I'll tell you, caffeine does suppress your appetite trying to lose weight.
Mountain Dew used to really just like jack me up, but it's what I'm saying is, at some point you're going to have to find a way to manufacture your own energy. So I went through it, guys. I worked for the same company 12 years. It was like a glut. And then when I did wholesaling, it was I had more spark when I did wholesaling. You know why? Because I had a path to go to. I had an opportunity. And I believed in my heart, like I was going in the right direction, which I obviously was. It was a leap of faith. But I had to figure out, once I started doing how to manufacture my own energy, because a lot of you are just run down because you just don't feel like you have opportunity. Like, you're like, hey, listen, the average person, you know what the average pay increase per year is on a salaried employee in the United States?
4%?
3.
Right here.
So you guys go in and you give someone an entire year of your life. A lot of you guys do just an amazing job. And you have to beg on your hands and knees for a 3% increase. You're not even keeping up with an inflation. Well, I fight for a 200 to 300% increase every year. Why? Because I do it. Like, I do wholesaling and like I have the control to do it. You think it's crazy that a company decides if you get 3% on average? Oh, if you're lucky, you get 4, 15%. Why? Because they have to suppress the numbers to make a profit. You're helping your employer build a dream. But just, guys, I know what it likes to feel tired. There is a way out of it, but you have to take You have to take action to do something. Don't wait like I did 12 years. You get so frustrated. Then I should have been doing this, before I got into college. That's a different conversation. But your tiredness is self-manufactured because you're not excited. You feel run down. There's no opportunity. Wholesaling, if you're gravitated towards and you're attracted to it, it is amazing. You have to put in the work to get to your first deal. You're not going to get a paycheck every 2 weeks. If you can make that sacrifice and get through that pain to get to the pleasure, everything you want's on the other side. The question is, are you going to do it?
Exactly. So the question is thrive or die. What are you willing to do? And I like saying the story a lot sometimes, but it's true. In the jungle in Africa, I don't think I tell you, but like you have to choose to be the gazelle or the lion. And what I mean by this is you might feel tired today. You might feel beat. Today was a hard day. Today was a tough day. One thing I tell everyone is whenever someone tells me this, I can get in trouble sometimes. Some of my friends will say this or something like that. And I always just say this. Today was just a tough day for me.
Yeah.
I say, is your mom alive? Yes. Is your dad alive? Yes. Is your girlfriend alive? Yes. Are your kids alive? Yes. I said, a tough day is if one of them isn't alive anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And they say,
it's a terrible day.
Why would you say that? Because that would be a tough day. But the fact that everyone's alive right now is an amazing day.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because there might be a day where loved ones are alive, and after that, that's a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
And so really put in perspective, if you go back in time, you'd be loved one that's on here, like you would be happy. And so the really is we just have this baseline, right? Oh, it's July 4th. Yes. Every day is a Saturday for me. Every day is a Sunday. Sundays are actually my worst days because the Dolphins usually lose. Every day is the weekend for me, We're good this year, but I don't want to get into it. It drives me crazy when people say that. And so we go back to Africa. I think Africa is one of the coolest places on earth. It's the most diverse place, like when you look at nature and even people, right? Like you got the tallest people in the world in Africa, got the shortest people in the world, the smartest people, right? But one thing I will tell you about Africa, which is really cool, is I just think it's so cool. I used to watch the David Attenborough, like the world planet Earth thing. And the cool part about watching that is they explain one really simple concept in the jungle, right? Where the gazelle wakes up in the morning and it knows it has to get its water, its food, its right.
Yeah.
But it also knows that a lion is going to try to kill it. And it knows that if a lion's hunting them, they have to outrun it or their family doesn't survive.
Yeah.
The lion wakes up in the morning and says, if I don't eat, the gazelle doesn't survive. And so you have two parties that if they don't succeed, their family doesn't survive. So both the gazelle and the lion tired today. It doesn't matter if it's been a tough day.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about anything. They both need to help their families. And so you need to choose what's more important. And we don't care about the gazelle's problem if their leg hurts. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's no equality in the jungle.
Yeah, because when they go down to the water, the crocs are waiting for them too, right below.
It's true. So you have, are you going to, if you're the gazelle, are you going to choose to feel sorry for yourself today or just do it, right? And so at the end of the gazelle, be the lion, choose who you are, but you can't make excuses. Because if you make excuses, you're done. You're dead. That's how it works, right? The slowest gazelle never lives. That's how it works. That's why I always see a bunch of gazelles, they're pretty fast.
Yep.
Same with the lion. The lions that go in hunting, they're the ones that just can't get the gazelle, right? The lions that get it are the lions. The lions that get it are the lions that actually succeed in the hunting. So it's scary stuff. But this comes back to our life right now. Same thing. If we were cavemen, if you don't go out here and kill the buffalo, your family doesn't eat. So just have a lot of people put all this pressure on them. It's not caveman times where if a winter happens too much or the crop soil happens and I lose all the crops and my family dies, there's not that much pressure on you. Okay. It's not like I have to go out here and get a hunt today or my family doesn't eat.
Yeah.
All right. Those were back in a lot better now. So just understand, for wholesaling to become successful, you're in your air-conditioned house, air-conditioned room with the nice internet. You can microwave a meal tomorrow in the next hour. Like it's really, it's a lot easier than you're you're used to.
Do it in your pajamas.
So your ancestors are looking at you like, what in the world is wrong with Toby's talking about he's scared to talk to a seller? And, your ancestors, where he just, he had to go hunt a lion out for dinner. And but think about your ancestors, caveman type people are looking at you and they're like, what is wrong with this guy? And so just believe in yourself too. I think a lot of wholesalers, they can't talk to sellers right because they don't believe in themselves. And you say this better than anyone. If you don't believe in yourself, how's the seller going to believe in you?
Bingo. I mean, you listen, guys, if you constantly beat yourself up and like, why am I doing it? You just, first of all, just recognize it. Most of you have a perpetual pattern where you're your own worst critic. So get rid of it and give yourself an opportunity to succeed. You got to start with a belief. Remember, a belief is just a thought. Now you've got to put like a nutshell around it, which is going to be your conviction. And your conviction is what's going to take all the arrows when your family, your friends, your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your aunt, your uncle start wholesaling. What's this wholesaling? I think it's a scam. What are you doing? If you don't have conviction, you're going to fold immediately. So conviction is your willingness. Rick and Zach told me you're coming after me. I'm 100% committed. They're entitled to their own opinion. It does not affect mine. And eventually you're going to learn, because you've learned your entire life, you have to worry about what everybody else thinks of you. 90% are more concerned what other people think about them than what they think about themselves. Think about that for a sec. You are more concerned what everybody else thinks about you, the car you drive, the house you live in, but you're not concerned with yourself. People will spend more time to impress a stranger than impress their family, their bank account, projection of their family's life. And you got to let it go. Go, listen, like, hey, I'm working on myself. I'm becoming a better version of myself. And just get in that room and cold call. You go out, party, do something else later. But I'm just telling you guys, we're in a society where we want to impress everybody. Why don't you impress yourself? Yeah. Impress yourself. Build your bank account till it looks like a phone number. I thought that was a joke till it happened. I'm like, holy moly, it's for real. Just stack it so much to where you just like, hey, this is what I got to do. This is what I want. So stop spending that energy trying to impress everybody in your neighborhood, people at your work. If you're doing that, just work on yourself and just tell everybody, I'm getting better. If you work on impressing yourself, you don't have to spend all that energy on stuff that doesn't matter. These people aren't going to go to your funeral. They're going to forget about you the day you die. The only people that care about it is your family. So wholesaling is the ticket to take care of your family and the people you love the most. You have an elderly parent that needs time and stuff. Money alone is not going to fix it. If you want to spend time with them, you have to have flexibility in a job. You got to put the time in now to get that in the future. And if you haven't, go ahead, put the work in now so you have those options for your family so you can help them out with the most precious resource you have, which is time. Money will come with it once you help enough people out.
I agree. Our bank account, it does well because we believe in ourselves. It looks like a phone number. These gurus' phone numbers, these gurus' bank accounts look like a jersey number.
It fills up with sales of courses. So
74, 50. Yeah, but guys, you guys hear a lot of the have confidence. No one really truly knows confidence is just a belief in yourself and the belief in the words you say. Actually believe you can buy the person's house. Actually believe you can actually get a deal cold calling today, and you can do it. Watch my last live stream on last Tuesday. 10 days ago, right? The belief, but it's not idiotic belief. That is, I'm not calling, like I called, I think for like an hour and a half. I didn't say, I'm going to get a $50,000 deal right now. Like it's not, I didn't believe, I believed I could. I didn't believe it's going to guarantee happen. I mean, it might have to take me, but the truth is I believed that. I always say this, where's my money when I cold call? It's funny, but it's true. Somebody on the end of that line has my money. I just got to find it.
It's the Jerry Maguire movie, right?
I think so.
What's his line? Who's got my money?
I don't know. Someone's got my money. And so I need to start calling and figure out who's got my money, right? And so just believe in yourself.
That's a Grant Cardone line, too.
And you're good to go, right? And so the last thing I want everyone to know is you only lose in wholesaling when you quit. When you give up and say, I'm done. that's when you lose. You're a winner in training right now. So wholesalers, you're either a winner or a loser. And a lot of people don't like that, but it's true. You're a winner or a loser.
There's no participation trophies in wholesaling?
There's not. And so either you're a winner, you got a deal, or you're a loser, you quit. Now, if you haven't got a deal, but you're trying to, I give you a pass to call you a winner in training, right? So you're a winner in training or a winner. If you are a loser, that's just because you quit. That's it.
You lost it.
At the end of the day.
You're a winner in training?
That's it. A wit.
Yeah, there you go.
But it drives me crazy.
There it is. It's show me the money.
Show me the money.
He made him in front of an agent. Like he went out and just tried to get this one. He tried to get this one football player. And the football player was like, I don't really do it. And he's like, Jerry, he goes, say it. He need it. And he makes one of the best scenes in the movies. And he's like, he's screaming at the top of, show me the money. Then he goes, now dance to it. And everybody in the office. And at that point, he had to decide, does he want to earn that client? Or is he more apt to avoid embarrassment in the office? And he struggled with it. And he's like, I'm all in. I want this deal and I will do it. Now, guys, there are limits to what you get. But like, man, I love that movie. Look at Jerry Maguire. Show me the money.
I love it. But yeah, guys, I'm telling you, you only lose when you quit. That is how you get your first wholesaling real estate deal. So again, guys, we do have a free wholesaling course. It is called freewholesaling.com. Teaching you how to wholesale real estate absolutely for free. You get what you pay for. Just kidding. It's free. And it's about an $8,000 course we give out absolutely for free for the people, by the people, and for the wholesalers. So yeah, we're excited. So let's answer your questions, see what we can do to help you guys out. Again, go to wholesaling real estate for free.